Morning. Got a date with Destiny today.
Yeah, yesterday when we were in the stand, about a mile and a half, more than that, away from where I got my main camera at. The same big, just the biggest buck that I've had on camera all summer has been frequenting this area the last 3 days. Yesterday afternoon when we were in the stand, he walked by it at 5:40. It was either 5:40 or 6:40. So he's been using it morning and night. And the last time that we had a really bad storm all the way through the night, he had used that crossing until like 6:40 or 6:50, close to 7 o'clock. So we're gonna sneak in there and hopefully he makes that same mistake. Alrighty, well, we snuck back into this spot just because the last few days we've had this bigger buck come through here. That just scared the shit out of me. Alright, but yeah, last few days we've had this nice 10-pointer come through this area, like 3 days in a row, so we were hoping that if we snuck in here in the morning we'd catch him coming back late with this storm. It's still raining pretty good. It's like 7:15 right now, so we've been in the stand for a couple hours. It's just, with all the rain, we haven't done much filming. We'll probably give it like maybe another hour. If we don't see anything, go home and dry off. Well, got skunked. I didn't see anything. I seen a doe right at gray light, but nothing that we came here for. So, contemplated it. Plan is we're just gonna leave our setups here. And we're gonna come back and sit the same spot the afternoon and just give it a morning and an evening sit. Just to see if we can capitalize on him using this. He's not the only one using this either. There's a few other bucks and a handful of does that are using it. And I'm kind of ready to put anything down at this time, so. Alright, we're gonna get out of here. We're back at the same spot we were at this morning. It's actually pretty early. We wanted to get in here and just be quiet for a while, so if we did make any noise, forget about it. But the wind at this point, it's actually doing the same thing. It's blowing back behind us, so anything coming from this way, we should be good. And just a waiting game at this point. I used this spot at 5:40 yesterday afternoon, so we plan to see him again at the same time. followed them up and seen us, and then she took one step to her right, turned broadside for me, and I let her rip. And at first, it seemed like the knock like fell off, so I thought I hit a branch or something and she took off, but looking at it now, it's a full pass through. The knock just came off when I passed through her, and this is full of bubbles. And the problem is we're not too far from private, and she ran towards private, so we're gonna follow the blood and see where it goes and game plan after that. Alright everybody, it is the 20th of September. It is 1:52 right now. I got out of work early enough to sneak out into the woods today. We're gonna go into an area completely new. We scouted it during the off season, but we haven't been to it since the season started. Our mindset tonight is more or less just putting our stands on our back and finding fresh sign. And then if we can't find any fresh sign or anything that I want to set up on, we're just gonna back out of there quick and go to a spot that we scouted during the off season. Found a bunch of scrapes, a bunch of rubs from last year. We're just gonna check that area out and probably sit down in there. But my best bet is finding fresh sign, getting on it, getting set up, getting quiet. So yeah, we'll see you guys out there. All right, so probably a couple hundred yards from the parking lot now, but we are heading back to where we scouted in our off season. Essentially, we followed the edge of the river and ended up coming into a peninsula that had a ton of rubs, a good amount of beds, just a good amount of buck sign in general. Couldn't determine, just because the amount of rubs and the time that it looked like they were getting laid, it almost seemed like they were there throughout the entire season. So we're gonna go in here now. It's the first week of the season. We found a community scrape when we were scouting that day that was right on the edge of the river. The wind is essentially gonna be blowing in our face as we're coming into that. So the peninsula will be here, and we'll be here with the wind coming this way. So anything following that river edge should meet up with us with the wind blowing in our face. So we're gonna work our way back there. Once we get into a couple hundred yards of that spot, we're gonna stop, slow down a whole lot, and start looking for sign. Because if I see buck sign coming through that area, we're just gonna slip up into that tree and see what happens. So got a little bit of ways to go. Right got skunked. Didn't see anything. We didn't see anything, but we heard plenty. Like I said when we were on our way there, I either wanted to set up right where we did or push another 50-60 yards. We decided to set up where we did just because of all the fresh deer shit, all the browsing, all the acorns falling. I just didn't want to push it any farther. But a couple of times that I very lightly did my little rattling bag, we got some reaction from it every time. Something moved, a couple branches broke. So we know that they're back there. We just got to push back to the original spot that I had planned out. It's at the end of the day, it's just a mistake on me, but we learned something, so we're good there. I don't think we're gonna get out at all until this weekend, so we'll see you guys Sunday.